Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I'm building a messy teen room. So if you're interested in this build, you can download it off of the gallery. My origin ID is Penapple YT. So this is the fourth build. I know, sad, it's the last one in my 4-build teen room sort of series. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed the series so far. Be sure to tell me if you have in the comment section down below and if you'd like to see something similar to this in the future. But yeah, this one is Parenthood and base game only, and it actually took me the longest out of all of them. It took me 40 minutes, and I don't think I mentioned this in the sporty one. That one only took me 25, so it was the shortest. But if you haven't seen the other ones, please be sure to check them out. I made a hippie room, an angsty room, and a sporty teen room. And so they all have their own personalities, and I think they're a lot of fun. But this room, you're probably looking at it and being like, wow, this really isn't that messy yet. It actually just kind of looks like a girly room. And I did that on purpose. I felt like messy wasn't necessarily a character enough on its own, so I wanted to pair it with something, and I decided to kind of juxtaposition it with something that people don't always sort of think of as messy, but this is kind of traditionally girly, and girls can be super messy too. Girls are as messy and gross as any other humans out there. Anyone who's telling you otherwise is either fooling themselves or just has not spent enough time with any sort of female girl type thing. Oh gosh, that reminds me, once when I was in college, this guy in my class, and you could obviously tell he hadn't really spent any time with very many people at all, I think, but he was kind of socially awkward. But it was just so funny because he called them female women, and it was just really awkward, and it was really weird. But anyways, I've gotten myself off topic, but I do really love how this room turned out, and I end up wrecking it. Although, to be fair, I'm more of a neat person. I'm not the cleanest person or the tidiest person, but I do tend to fall more on the neater side of the spectrum. I showed this to my stumbling over my words, to my boyfriend, who's a little bit messier than me, and he was like, oh gosh, I've seen messier, and I'm like, oh goodness, you have? And he's like, oh yeah. But I do end up going into buy debug mode, which means you can access a whole bunch more objects, and I was really excited to do that because I used a lot of the sort of science fair sort of craft things, activities, and the finished products, and I use all of the really crappy ones too, and so they're kind of littered around the room, and this room kind of almost feels like this used to be a very girly girl who asked her parents to make her room this way, and then she's kind of older now, and so she has all of these old crafts from when she was younger just kind of hanging around, and maybe she doesn't even like her room anymore, and that's why it's so messy. Because when I was about 5 or 6 years old, my parents asked me what color I wanted my carpet to be, and I said pink, and they got me a very pink carpet, and they called it Barbie pink, and I thought it was called Barbie pink, but later on they told me no, we just called it that. But they got me a Barbie pink carpet, and by the time I was 13, 14, I hated it. Oh my gosh. And all my walls were white too, so it's just this white and pink room, and I did not like it. And so finally I managed to convince them to let me paint 2, not all of the walls. They wouldn't let me paint all the walls, but they let me paint 2 of the walls blue, and not the biggest wall. Yeah. So I tried to make the room my own, but it's still just really stuck in my childhood, and this room kind of reminds me of that, almost this person's just kind of messy because they don't care about the room anymore. But it does also just look really cute, and I think you could also just be messy and like your room. But here you can see I'm starting to pull out some of those crafts that I talked about in the new Parenthood pack, and this piece of clutter that we got in the Parenthood pack I love, but I didn't want to make it too repetitive even though it came in different swatches. So what I actually did was I tried to hide some of the clutter underneath other objects to make it look less duplicated, and I think that worked out quite well, because otherwise this person would have 8 backpacks. I can't imagine. Well, I guess I have 3 backpacks, but it's not like I wear all of them at once. Also, the same dude who called, like, female women, would carry his backpack in the weirdest way. Like, the straps were set as, like, long as possible, and he would hook his arms into them and then carry his backpack on his inner elbows. So it wasn't even on his back, and it looked supremely uncomfortable, and I never quite understood it. But I did also end up putting in a little tank for an animal. That's towards the very end. I don't even know if you'll see it, but I thought that also fit. Like, this person, like, is kind of, like, so messy and unorganized that they maybe forgot to take care of their pet. But yes, this room's cute, and everything does work, I think. One of the bookcases doesn't work, but the sim just goes to the other bookcase. And I think it might be the same with the dresser, you know, and you can sit on all of the furniture, which is a little weird because you end up sitting in a pile of plates, and you can use the bed even though it does have some stuff on it. I wanted to put more stuff on it, but it was kind of hard I didn't want things floating. And so the clothes almost look like they're floating, but here you can see I'm trying to add more books, and I feel like whoever owns this room must be a book fiend because there are books everywhere. But I managed to stack them on the headboard, and I thought that looked really cute, really realistic, and I love how it turned out. But we are coming up on the end of this build. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. And again, please be sure to tell me if you'd like to see something like this in the future. If you guys have any ideas of what you'd like me to build, I'd love to hear them. I obviously can't get to all of them because I'm not superhuman, and this thing is probably coming out like a week or so after the game pack came out, like, because I have other stuff I need to do, unfortunately. But yeah, I hope that you guys all really enjoyed this build. Also, be sure to comment which of the builds was your favorite down below. Was it the hippie one, which was voted, which has been the most favorite on the gallery, and it was the one voted top done, or was it the angsty one, this 40 one, or this one, the messy one? But yeah, I hope that you guys are all having a really great day. If you'd like to be notified when my next build is, be sure to subscribe, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!